What's going on, everyone? Hope you all are staying safe in this crazy, mixed up world we're living in right now. Uh, Hope you guys got to enjoy the last probably few warm days of the year. This Indian summer that we had, I guess, is what you want to call it. Hope you guys are making your plans for Thanksgiving. Plan to get your grub on. Like I've done on all my previous episodes, I just want to give a shout out to anyone who's taken the time to watch my podcast, give a like or some feedback. Really means a lot to me. The episode, or the title of this episode, I should say, is called "Vote or Die." This expression that was said back in the '90s. It couldn't be any truer today. I am hesitant to tell anyone how to vote or what party to follow or what candidate. It's up to you to exercise your right. And yes, voting is a right, not a privilege. People have fought and died for us to have that right. And I hope everyone has exercised or is planning to exercise it. Uh, no, I understand that many people are disenfranchised with both parties because, quite frankly, neither one of them has been all that great. I have my issues with the Democratic Party, particularly the progressive wing of the party. It's just too liberal, and I think it just turns a lot of people off, and I can't blame them. However, this group of MAGA morons that are in the Republican Party are just, hey, they're too stupid, but they're too dangerous to be in office. Um, this whole stolen election rhetoric and BS, because that's exactly what it is, BS, has been proven time and time again to be a lie. You even have Republicans, particularly like Congressman Dan Crenshaw, who have admitted that it was a lie. There's no process to overturn the Electoral College. There never was. There probably never will be. But yet they did it to rile up their base of supporters to, I guess, overthrow the government. I mean, which was apparent on January 6th. A peaceful transition of power, which has taken place just about every time, was disrupted and a coup was started by a bunch of idiots. I mean, who fed into a lie started by Donald Trump and his cronies. There were 60 lawsuits, 6-0, several recounts, and not one shred of evidence was produced to show that Biden or the Democratic Party stole the 2020 election. But instead of being adults about it, they made up this big lie because, Donald Trump is just a narcissist and a sore loser. And the people that follow him just want to ride his coattails and claim power. And it's dangerous. I mean, you see what's happening out there. Yes, Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked in their home because, from someone who was feeding into this BS in critical condition, bashing the head with a hammer because of this idiotic, and it's damn right idiotic, nonsense that they keep still spewing. You have candidates running for like governor and secretary of state and Senate and Congress still preaching this like propaganda. You have people who are quote unquote poll watchers showing up with body armor and guns, intimidating people. In fact, there was a restraining order put on one group of people because of this. That's not necessary in a democracy. People have the right to express their vote, to vote for who they believe in. And if it doesn't go your way, it doesn't mean you can become militant or try to overthrow the government. I mean, it's just absurd. It's dangerous. I mean, you have Republicans with all their gerrymandering making it harder for black and brown and Native Americans to vote. That's not democracy. That's not what our founding fathers had in mind. That's not what the civil rights movement was about. That's not what women had planned when they marched and burned their bras and stood up for themselves. It's like it's not about democracy, it's about control. You want to force your white nationalist Christian views on the people. And like I said before, I'm sorry, but not everyone is a Christian. They sure as hell ain't white, and they're not male. You can't tell women what to do with their bodies. You can't force things on them. What goes on between a couple has no business or concern of the government. And I get it. Some people, you don't believe in abortion. And that's your right not to believe in it. But you cannot force it on other people. It's not right. And if you're going after that, which they pretty much did, what's next? Gay marriage? Just because it's not how you live or how you love doesn't mean that you have the right to have any say so in that situation between two consenting adults. It's just dangerous. I mean, you already have Republican candidates saying they refuse to accept the midterm results if they don't win. It doesn't work that way. Nothing in life works that way. You don't always get what you want. You don't get your way all the time. You got to accept it like an adult and move on. You have Republicans also suing to disqualify thousands of mail in ballots in swing states. And if you look in your history book, mail in ballots used to be the way of the Republican Party. Now, all of a sudden, you see more liberals, especially young people, and people who aren't able to physically get to the ballot box voting by mail in ballots, and you're just trying to suppress their right to vote. It doesn't work that way because it doesn't work for you. If you had such an issue with it, and a lot of these districts which are controlled by Republicans, you could change the rules. You're saying because the election or the results of the election aren't found out on the night of the midterms or the national election that it's some cheating going on. The rules were set in place that some ballots cannot be counted until the night of or the day of. It's not cheating. It's the way it is. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You can't spew misinformation and lies to suit your goals or political dreams, or I mean, I don't know what you call it. It's just dangerous. You have people in fear of their lives, election workers wearing bulletproof vests, taking alternate routes to get home because they're afraid they're being followed. You're getting people who are getting threatening calls. I mean, this isn't a fascist government. It's supposed to be democracy. And you're turning our country into a laughing stock. Other countries look at us and just shake their heads now. It's just a bunch of crap and it needs to stop. I mean, this is supposed to be a government of laws, not a government of men. And the rule of the people speaks over the political party. I'm sorry. I just at a loss of words right now. I'm literally in fear of what our country is going to look like if the wrong people get in power. I mean, you have a man who's facing several indictments, pretty much running a political party, and it's a shame. You should have enough wherewithal and enough guts or enough cojones to stand up to this man and or at least say he doesn't represent us. Him and his far out views, but instead you feed into it, you add fuel to the fire, and it's dangerous. I mean, that's all I can say. It's absolutely dangerous what you're trying to do. I mean, and these people keep feeding into it. And you have all these candidates who have not qualified, like Herschel Walker, and I've already gone on him, but such a joke. Kerry Lake, not qualified. And the list goes on and on and on of these election deniers. These people who are pretty much not trying to follow the rules of the land, but yet trying to set it up so Donald Trump can get back in power. I mean, they're threatening to cut Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid, things that people pay into. So, what gives you the right to try and take that away from people? You have one party who's trying to give tax breaks to the rich who don't need it. And I get it, we're dealing with a lot of inflation right now. But that's not because of the party that's in power. I mean, yes, they could be doing more to help us, but that's capitalist corporate greed. And you put the wrong people in power, it's just gonna get worse. So I'm asking you, if you haven't already, please go vote. The stakes are too high. If they're going after abortion, there's no telling what they will go after next. And yes, we have a lot of problems. Immigration reform definitely needs to be on the forefront for the next people that come into office. You know, education, infrastructure. There's a lot of things that we need to address, but we need the right people in office to get stuff done. People who actually care about democracy, who actually listen to the people. And I mean all people, not just their people. Change only happens when we speak up, when we fight for our rights, when we protest. And part of that is voting. So please, like I said, go vote if you haven't already. And those who have, I appreciate you exercising your right. Well, that's just me being honest. Just thought I'd hop on here. I'd love to hear your views or your feelings on this whole situation. Catch you on the flip side. Peace out.